Las reglas de acentuación. All right, so every word in Spanish has a tonic syllable. A tonic syllable is where your volume rises just a little bit, or the word is stressed just a little bit more, or you place a little bit of emphasis on it. But the question is, how do you know where you put that extra stress on the word when you're doing your inflection? So I'm going to try to give you some examples today, and I'm probably going to over-enunciate because I'm here and you're there, and I want to make sure you really understand this. But wouldn't it be really nice if there was an easier way, or I could just know how? Well, there is. So first option is, if you see a written accent mark, done. Life is good. That's where you put the stress. That's the tonic syllable. What if a word doesn't have a written accent? Well, then you should panic. You should probably just quit Spanish. You should probably just be like, I'm out, maestro. Done. No, thank you. No, seriously, don't do that, because there are rules. Well, what are these rules, maestro? All right, rule number 1. Seriously, write these down. Rule number 1. If a word ends in a vowel, N or S, so A, E, I, O, U, N, A, O, S, A, E, I, O, U, N, or S, the tonic syllable is the penultimate, the second to the last syllable. Second rule, if a word ends in a consonant that's not N, A, or S, A, so not N or S, the tonic syllable, right, that place where the stress rises, the volume goes up a little, there's a little extra emphasis, is the last syllable. Okay, so let's just get right into it and look at some examples. All right, I'm going to put some examples on the board. So hopefully these are words you've seen before. So if you see hablo, you go back to your rule. It ends in an O, which means our tonic syllable is the second to the last, so it would be hablo. Versus when you see hablo, you see that written accent mark, and that says, hey, my stress goes right here. And that's how we get the difference between I speak, or I do speak, and he spoke, or he did speak. All right, let's look at a second very similar example. All right, we have this word and this word. Well, one of them is pronounced one way, and the other one is pronounced the other way, so we have cante or cante. Which is which? Well, cante, I sang, is easy because we see the stress mark with the written accent, and so there's our stress. But cante ends in a vowel, so it is the second to the last. All right, let's get a little trickier. I'm going to put 3 words on the board. All right, so one of these is I practice, one of these is practice, and one of these is he practiced. So if we look at the first one, where's the stress? On which syllable? Well, we see the written accent mark, so we know there's our stress. All right? Second example. Where's our stress? Well, there's no written accent mark, so this is where I need to panic, but I'm not going to panic because I have some rules, so I'm going to go back to my rules. This is a word that ends in a vowel, so I know the tonic syllable, the place where the volume rises just a little bit, is the second to last. All right, and the third one, well, there's a written accent, so that's easy. All right, so what are these? Practico, practico, practico. He practiced, I practice, and then practice. That's all there is to it. So these are las reglas de acentuación, the way that you put the stress or the accent or the emphasis on a word. Now, what happens when you have one-syllable words? Well, that is the tonic syllable. Or it's not the tonic syllable. It's only one syllable, so there's no decision to make. You just move on. I know. Life is good when we have rules. Let's put this together and do another couple examples. I'm going to put 4 up on the board. Ready, go. I want you to go ahead and pause, write out these sentences, and I want you to identify which one is the tonic syllable, and then I'm going to walk through. Ready? Pause. Okay, welcome back. So, me, we don't need to worry about it. Papa. Which syllable? Is it pa or pa? Well, we see the accent, so there we go. Con, tes, to. Written accent, there we go. El, don't worry about it. Telefono. Right, I kind of overemphasized that one. It's not telefono, it's telefono. So that A is where it goes up a little bit. All right, next one. Algunos de los exámenes eran muy fáciles para mí. Algunos. Ends in an S, so it's the second to the last. De los, we don't worry about. Is it exámenes, 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 exámenes? Well, we see the written accent mark, which says, hey, look at me, here's the stress. Perfect. Eran. Stress on the first or the second? First or the second. Ends in a vowel N or S. So it is the second to the last syllable. So we count back. 1, 2. There it is. Muy. Forget about it. Fáciles. There's the accent. There's our stress. When they have the accent, life is good. Para. ends in a vowel, so we count back 1, 2. And then me. Ooh, why does this one have an accent on it? Because if it didn't, it would mean my. And here we have a prepositional pronoun. You might want to check out this other video if you haven't already watched it. Remember, this is a mini-series. You really need to watch all of these together. And then finally we have, quiero que hables mucho español. Quiero, skip K, hables ends in an S, so we count back 1, 2, hables, mucho, so count back 1, 2, español, ends in a consonant that's not NRS, so our tonic syllable is the last. Alright, so now, pull out a newspaper, pull out a book, pull out something that you know is written correctly, and go through and first identify with a circle, or an underline, or a highlighter all of the tonic syllables. And then after that, go back and pronounce them correctly, and to start, maybe over-enunciate them just a little bit. Las reglas de acentuación. If a word ends in a vowel NRS, the tonic syllable is the penultimate, la penúltima. Isn't that a good word? And if a word ends in a consonant that's not NRS, it is the last syllable. Alright, check out the other videos in the series. Get some practice. Start using this. Improve your accent. Suerte.